Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, January 30th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The budgetary estimates for 2017 amounting to $976,947,037, according to Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Dr. Rav Gonsalves, reflects a 7% increase over the approved budget for 2016. In his presentation of the estimates in Parliament this morning, the Prime Minister outlined that the recurrent expenditure was over $700 million, the current revenue was over $500 million, and the capital expenditure over $200 million.
Estimates of revenue and expenditure for the 2017 fiscal year amount to $976,943,437. This figure represents a 7% increase over the approved budget for 2016. The 2017 budget is comprised of recurrent expenditure inclusive of our amortization and sinking fund contributions at $747,376,387 and capital expenditure of $229,567,050. The 2017 budget is financed by current revenue of $590,740,680 and capital receipts totaling $368,202,757.
Prime Minister Gonsalves said his administration will remain conservative in their spending for 2017 as revenue collected amounted to over 4% in 2016. The Finance Minister said that there will be a budgeted current account deficit of just over $11 million and noted that the current revenue is over $590 million, some 4% higher than 2016. He also highlighted that the revenue for taxes is expected to be over $500 million, while the non-tax revenue would be some $85 million.
Current expenditure exclusive amount of amortization and sinking fund contributions amount to $601.747 million. Current revenue, on the other hand, is $590.74 million. As a consequence, there's a budgeted current account deficit of $11,007,291. Current revenue. The current revenue of $590.7 million is 4.6% or $26.1 million higher than the budgeted current revenue for 2016. Revenue from tax sources is expected to yield $505.6 million, while non-tax revenue is estimated at $85.2 million. The improvement in the revenue estimates for 2017 is reflective of the continued real economic growth projected for this year. In 2016, actual revenue collections amounted to $589.4 million, or some 4.4% above the budgeted revenue for that year. Notwithstanding the strong revenue performance last fiscal year, we consider it prudent to remain conservative with our projections for 2017.
Opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday said the estimates presented by Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Dr. Rav Gonsalves does not give realistic projections and meet the needs of Vincentians. Dr. Friday described the figures as guesstimates that do not give the private and public sectors guidance as to how to direct their spending.
Based on the performance over the years, is that the estimates have become almost a guesstimate as to what the government intends to do, rather than being thoroughly grounded in what is possible and what is real, and ought to be able to guide not just the public servants, but the private sector in what the economy will do and what the government will do in order to assist them. We have noted over the years, Mr. Speaker, that I've paid particular attention to the ability of the government to finance its activities. And one of the things we have paid attention to has been the creeping increase in the current account deficit that has occurred over the years. And sometimes it may get technical for the ordinary person listening, but it's not really that difficult to understand if you break it down.
The opposition leader further claimed that the failed infrastructure developments are an indication of the strain the local economy is under.
Involve things that affect people in their daily lives. Construction of schools, of roads, of bridges, things in the infrastructure of the country that helps to promote growth, but also that helps to benefit people in their daily lives. And when this doesn't happen, of course, you see it all around in the crumbling buildings, in the deterioration in our roads. We see it in the lack of medication and basic supplies in our hospitals, in the deterioration in our schools, and various other things that affect daily lives. They are not just a matter of financial figures that are divorced from our everyday lives.
Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves, who has been the driving force behind the construction of the Argyle International Airport, said on radio today that the success of the air facility Frontier will depend on how it is promoted by all Vincentians.
What has to be promoted from the beginning. And one way to do so is to have charters while you have and people come in and go in and establishing those kinds of contacts, so that when the regular flights, because I've said before, some of them require 3 months, some require 6 months to have it in their system,
right, to
allocate planes, to make sure that they themselves promote the destination properly. But we also have to do so.
Yes.
But the people who are coming on the charters are paying their way.
Noting that the airport is a great phenomenon that will be a significant addition to the development of this country, Dr. Gonsalves said that over the recent weeks, the AIA staff has recorded over 25,000 visits. The Prime Minister said plans are being finalized for the opening date on February 14th and noted that there is no set attire for the occasion.
People can wear what they want to wear to a rally, a national rally. I myself, I will be attired in a way which befits the office of the Prime Minister at a national event.
Okay.
So, and where we have our guests from all about.
Yes.
So that's broadly what is going to take place.
And former Member of Parliament Burton Williams, speaking on sister station Easy Radio on Sunday, said the wearing of a party colour at the opening of the Argyle International Airport will cause further division in the country.
I want to appeal to the Prime Minister to work with the members of his party and all those who, civil servants and so on, who are promoting the opening of the Argyle International Airport as a partisan political matter to desist.
Yeah.
I think it is a travesty. All of the advertising I'm hearing, it may not be government advertising, but it is on their radio station, about come out in your red. It is creating further wedge in people's minds regarding the benefits to be derived from this as an... I am appealing to Dr. Gonsalves to intervene and make a clear statement that the Argyle International Airport, its opening is not a partisan political matter. It is a national issue, and persons should desist from coming there in red as if they are presenting, as if it is going to be a political event.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the International Airport Development Company, the IADC, Dr. Rudy Matthias, said plans are in the pipeline for a translation center at Argyle International Airport site. Serving as a panelist on a local radio program on Sunday, Discussion Matters on the International Air Facility, Dr. Matthias outlined that during the 14-year journey to make the airport a reality, decisions were carefully made in an effort to preserve the past. He said that the translation center will give persons in the coming years an opportunity to understand the journey and struggles that came with this country's achievement of an international airport.
While we prepare for the future, we were making sure that we took sensible decisions that help us preserve the past. And we are going to be setting up an interpretation center at Argyle. The idea behind that interpretation center is so that our young people, the ones who are yet unborn too, can have a sense of the transformation that has taken place at Argyle. The interpretation center is built into the Argyle International Airport Terminal building.
In the terminal building, okay.
In the unsecured departure area, or if you ask me, the checking area, there is a facility there that we call the interpretation center. And we are going to be having on display some of the artifacts that were uncovered at Argyle. But not only the artifacts, we are talking about a center that would allow Vincentians to understand the whole genesis of this project and how it was executed and why it was executed and who are the people behind it. So that we need for young people to understand and appreciate the sacrifices that their forebears make to make their lives better. And we believe that that is one way we can help them to understand.
And just to correct the name of the center that Dr. Matthias was referring to is an interpretation center at the Argyle International Airport, where the history of the airport's development will be told. Dr. Matthias, continue with the news, Dr. Matthias noted that the interpretation center will give inspiration to young persons that even the greatest challenges can result in great achievements. After 14 years of existence, the Police Cooperative Credit Union has achieved a milestone, the purchasing of its own headquarters. Manager of the PCCU, Simon Mulcair, described the journey of such an achievement as a challenging one, noting that the institution has in the past attempted to purchase a home for its ever-growing membership. At the opening and ribbon-cutting ceremony on Saturday, January 28, it was noted that the new PCCU home was something its membership should feel a sense of pride with.
The dream of the Police Cooperative Credit Union is now a vivid reality as the name is now branded on their own building. The PCCU on Saturday, January 28th, held a grand opening and ribbon-cutting ceremony to commemorate the purchasing of what is now known as the PCCU headquarters. According to the credit union's manager, Simon Mulcair, it has long been a goal for the PCCU to have a home, even when at the time they had only a membership of under 400 persons. In recognizing the achievement, CEO of the General Employees Cooperative Credit Union, GECO, Lennox Bowman described the PCCU as a disciplined and dependable institution, adding that the new headquarters should bring a newfound commitment and a new perspective on its achievement goals.
It must increase popular awareness of the police credit union. The credit unions, let me tell you something, the credit union is still one of the best kept secrets in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Notwithstanding, you have so much people, as a matter of fact, in the Caribbean. So, your new building is supposed to give you that kind of bounce. There should be an increase in the commitment of staff and volunteers of the PCCU. When you're working in a better environment, staff feel better, volunteers feel better.
Highlighting the significance of the PCCU's growth over the years, President of the SVG Cooperative League, Dwight Lewis, said SVG continues to be a leading figure in the credit union movement and is happy to see that the PCCU is moving on upwards.
Using the economically active population, age 15 to 64, as a measure of the degree of penetration, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is at the top of the global ranking of countries with a growth rate in credit union membership of 90%. And it is important and perhaps significant to note that only Dominica has a higher penetration rate than St. Vincent. I'm not sure if you get the picture, but St. Vincent is number 2 in the world in terms of its penetration.
PCCU President Junior Simmons stated that the institution has always focused on nation building, even when it was in its developing stage.
It has been our pleasure to assist the people of this country in many different areas, including education, youth development, law and order, healthcare, sports and culture, the arts, disaster management, ministry, construction, financial counseling, and the list goes on. So if you're here or under the sound of my voice elsewhere, and you're not a member of a credit union, I encourage you to join one at your next opportunity.
Featured speaker Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves spoke on the solidarity and unification that is developed amongst credit unions here and in the region.
It is amazing the way in which our people, amongst all our travails and all our difficulties and challenges, the way in which we fashion institutions to help each other. They are the banks, but somehow in our people's minds, and correctly so, that you can get a better response from a credit union if you invest in them. And it is not surprising that even among the members in the banks, the workers in the banks, I understand that about half of them join credit unions because they themselves want to benefit from this solidarity. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very impressed that you bought your own headquarters for an organization which was founded only in 2003. To have your own headquarters, it's a remarkable story.
To date, the PCCU boasts some 2,170 membership with an asset base of over $12 million. Nolisha Miller, The Evening News.
Staff and students of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College Division of Technical Vocational Education are mourning the loss of 3 students who died in a tragic vehicle accident in Barbados on Sunday morning. The deceased are Aziza Denny of Kingstown, Danny Horn of Kettles, and Carrie-Ann Padmore of New Prospect. They were among a group of hospitality students who went on an internship program in Barbados and were expected to return home on Sunday afternoon. Speaking at a General Assembly held at the institution today, a clearly saddened Osborne Bowens, the Dean of the Technical Vocational Division, stated that the loss of the students who would have been friends and loved ones to many is a tragic one, and encouraged the rest of the student body to remain strong during this difficult time.
We tested, but we know as a family that we rise and we hold our heads up. I want to say for all of the students, friends of, and all the final year students, make this year be motivated by all of this to do well.
Speaking with our news team today, Nicola Padmore remembers her deceased sister Carrie-Ann Padmore as a kind and driven person and encouraged the other grieving families to put their trust in Jehovah God.
She was the most loving person I know, and it's gonna be hard, but I know she wouldn't want us to be grieving, and I know that she knew that we loved her unconditionally, and I know that the feeling was mutual towards us. And I'm just encouraging all the young people out there is that no matter what, put your trust in Jehovah, put everything in Him. It didn't matter the circumstances. Death is an enemy, but we have to stay strong, we have to stay focused. A lot of people grieve differently, but I'm encouraging everybody to stay strong. It's not an easy time. Nobody got to say their final goodbyes. Nobody got to know what anybody was thinking, but we encourage you to stay strong, and we're praying for all the families that are mourning as well.
Local psychologist Dr. Joselle Miller said it is important that friends and classmates of the deceased receive the necessary support to get them through this difficult time.
It is not about telling persons to be strong and don't cry. This is the time that you need to just let it all out. Whatever the emotion is, some persons may express themselves in anger, some might cry, some might go numb. And you will find that there are some persons who will show absolutely no emotion, and that's okay as well. We have to just simply monitor them. We want to make sure that health-wise that they're catered for, so we monitor their blood pressures, make sure that they're eating, that they're getting some rest. They may not be able to sleep, but make sure that they're resting. Drink lots of fluid, because we realize around this type of situation, persons, because of the tears and because they're so caught up with all the different things going on, you have a lot of headaches and so on. So we want persons to drink a lot of water, try to keep as calm and level-headed as possible.
Our news team also caught up with some of the classmates of the deceased students, those of classroom 103, who shared fond memories of them, as well as expressed condolences to their families.
Ziza was a nice person. She was funny. If you're down, she always make you laugh, and she always have a bright spirit. Denny, her smile will take you away, because every time I see she always smiling. And it hurt me because they're so close to me.
On behalf of the hospitality students here too, me myself, Jada John, Amelia Kelly Richards, beside me here, Donique, Ocean Carr, Justin, Shania, Tani, everyone else, and Darren, who is currently in the hospital. We like to send out our gratitude and our condolences to those parents in grievance at this time. Well, I've not really been that close to Denny or Aziza, but I've known them for quite some time, and Denny for sure I used to love harassing and troubling every day. It won't have a day that I won't harass or trouble Denny. Ziza, as said by Donique, she always have a bright spirit and very outspoken. And as I said before, I like to send out gratitude and condolences to those family members of the deceased.
Well, I was very close to Aziza. Well, Denny, she was a close friend, but not as close to me as Aziza. But if you had friends like Aziza and Denny, you would know the true meaning of friendship. Pencil, Bell, and X1. Well, I could not accept the fact that they're gone, but Aziza, she was the feisty one, bright-spirited. Denny, she was more quiet, but she went all right, even though she used to play like a little stoosh, but rest in peace, baby girls.
And members of Parliament today expressed condolences to the families, friends, staff, and students of the Community College Technical Division over their loss. And we here at SVG Broadcasting also express our condolences to the family, friends, and students and supporters, loved ones of the deceased. 2 persons are currently in police custody as possible suspects for the daring daylight robbery of a significant sum of monies belonging to a popular business place here. According to the police, sometime after 10 this morning, 2 employees of PH Vera & Company Limited were reportedly robbed at gunpoint in front of the First Caribbean International Bank in capital Kingstown as they were on their way to deposit the weekend's earnings. According to information received, the 2 male perpetrators were walking between vehicles located in front of the bank, where they approached the employees of the business entity at gunpoint and demanded that the monies be handed over. The 2 men reportedly fled the scene in the direction of Richmond Hill. This is the second such incident to have occurred in the said vicinity in years. In 2013, a female postal corporation worker was robbed of over $100,000 in cash. A police who went to her assistance received a gunshot injury in that incident.